12.8 seconds into lap 7 of the San Marino Grand Prix in 1994, the Brazilian Formula One racing driver Ayrton Senna crashed and died.
One of the world's greatest racing drivers, Ayrton Senna, has died.
Uma corrida que entra para a história da Fórmula 1 como sinônimo de pesadelo.
It was too late for doctors to do anything to save him. Tonight
the racing world was stunned. Why did Senna, a triple world champion, suddenly veer off the road? This program uses the car's own computer data to solve that mystery, analysing moment by moment the 12.8 seconds that changed motorsport forever. Disasters don't just happen. They're the result of a sequence of events locked together in time. The science behind what went wrong is hidden in these seismic seconds. This is a reconstruction of the view from Senna's car as he approached that final corner at close on 200 miles per hour. But to understand what went wrong, we have to wind back the clock and start at the beginning of lap 7, the last lap of Ayrton Senna's brief but brilliant life.
Motor racing at its very highest level is the most extreme form of human endeavour outside of war, and Ayrton Senna was the most extreme practitioner of it. That's what we lost at Tamburello.
Few people really do know myself. Few people know me, and they just don't understand what it takes from a racing driver to eventually come to Formula One, being successful.
Ayrton Senna was an extraordinary man, blessed with an extraordinary skill. His desire to win led him to leave a comfortable life in his beloved Brazil for a sporting arena where performance is everything and danger is never far away. His skill and ambition were legendary.
He wants always to be the best. He shows all the time competition. He shows all the time that he wants to win. Even to go to into the airport with a rental car, he wants to be the first one.
The really, really great drivers who've won many world championships are also very clever, all of them. Ayrton was the absolute archetype. Who knows how many more world championships he would have won had he lived.
Formula One is the world's premier motorsport category, with more money, bigger television audiences and more technology than any other type of racing. Its unusual rules make it as much a competition between designers and engineers as it is between drivers.
One of the rules in Formula One, which is unique in all of racing, is that you have to make your own car. You have to design everything apart from the engine and the gearbox, which you are allowed to buy.
Since each team must design its own car, the pace of development is furious as each outfit tries to gain the upper hand by pouring money into research and technology. A single second over a whole lap is seen as a huge advantage, and the cars are set up with the utmost care. With so much effort and money at stake, the onus is firmly on the driver to make the utmost of his machine.
What Senna brought to the art of driving and the business of driving was an absolute total commitment to it. Now, those are very easy words to say, and people do, in sport, people do talk like that. He was prepared to stay at a track till midnight looking at telemetry, at computer printouts, asking people questions on and on and on, because he had to understand every single aspect of the car. And he literally wore technicians down by going through it again and again and again, because he absolutely had to know. And he raised that level of understanding and commitment to a place where it had never been before. And now, of course, it's become the norm. That's what he gave to it that's what he brought to it on the technical level.
As Ayrton Senna crossed the line to start his 7th lap of the San Marino Grand Prix, he was in pursuit of his 4th world title. He was in the lead, as was so often the case, travelling at 190 miles per hour. A computer on board his Williams FW16 registered the start of a new lap and began to record the 12.8 seconds of data that would tell the story of how Ayrton Senna died.
A few years ago, people started measuring all the bits and pieces on racing cars to try and advance their understanding of how they work so they could make them go quicker. It started off with simple recorders measuring 2 or 3, maybe 4 parameters, and it's advanced, particularly during the era of Senna's accident, into very powerful loggers with huge memories that can log almost any parameter that you can imagine.
Even though data recording was developed to make the cars faster, it can also provide vital information as to the cause of an accident, in much the same way as an aircraft's black box. As Senna approached that final corner, the computer was recording hundreds of pieces of data every second. 9.1 seconds into lap 7, Senna's foot was flat to the floor, shown as over 100%. He had a point to prove.
Senna was facing a very real crisis. He'd gone to the Williams team because, in theory, it was the best car and it would give him the 4th World Championship. But thus far that season, he hadn't scored any points at all. The car had proved very difficult. And far from winning all the races, which people said he might do, he hadn't actually been near finishing a race. So there was all the pressures, different pressures, came to bear him. He had to deliver at Imola.
Imola in northern Italy is one of the fastest tracks in Formula One. It was the scene for the 3rd race in the championship that year. At the end of the straight lay a sweeping curve, a corner with a reputation and an enigmatic name, Tamburello.
There is a certain mystery over the corner called Tamburello. It was a very, very fast corner, flat-out corner, with just a little bit of grass, a little bit of road, and then a wall. So every single driver knew that, in theory, you could go around it safely forever and a day, but if something went wrong, you were in a lot of trouble with not much space to get out of it.